question I think a lot of people have, which is, a lot of political-minded people say, well, you've lost to Scott Brown. They're worried that you're, about your ability to sort of beat Charlie Baker. So how do you win this primary, and how do you beat Charlie Baker?
Great. Well, thank you for that question. I would love to answer that. First of all, let me say there were a couple of things going on in the country and in Massachusetts, and I don't say this by way of defense. I just think it's important for everybody, including Democrats, to know some of the things that happened in 2010. So we have a primary and a special election, short time, big race. I win by 19%. Everybody in this state, including in Washington, said, hey, you're all set, don't worry about it. So we got back on the phones trying to raise money, and I don't use this as an excuse. Our campaign had some issues, there's no question, I loathed it. But we had health care, and we had the underwear bomber, and we had, I think, in Massachusetts, the whole country focused on let's stop health care. And we had money pouring in for Scott Brown. He ended up with $7 million in his account. I don't use that as an excuse at all, but I will tell you what I did do. I got right back out, I ran for Attorney General, won successfully, and continued to fight for the things I care about. I just spent some time telling you, fighting the big banks, being fair, challenging DOMA, bringing together a good team in my office who could do that. And when people said you should run for governor, I said, let me make sure that I can convince people that I've got the right team, that I'm going to be able to do this, because it's too hard and it's too difficult. My husband and I spent all summer thinking about how would we do this, and I said, unless I can put together the team and put the 1,000% commitment in that running for governor is going to take, I'm not going to get in this race. But I said, you know what, I'll be mad at myself if I don't try. Because I do think I can be a very good governor. And I know you've got great candidates for governor. Everybody in Massachusetts should be very thankful for the quality and the interesting, smart people who are running for governor. But I have every day worked hard with the team that got Elizabeth Warren elected and Deval Patrick elected. I have spent every day on the trail, in dining rooms, talking to folks. We have a great grassroots campaign. And for what it's worth, if you look at the polls, I'm way ahead in the primary, and I am the only Democratic candidate who can beat Charlie Baker. I don't rely on those polls, to be honest with you, but I know that they change, but they haven't changed since last fall, and we continue to work grassroots, as I know you think are important, and I do, to make sure that not only Democrats and progressives, but independents will say we need a Democrat. And I believe my message, and proven message, that we can be prosperous in this state. We can have an open door for businesses, as long as they play by the rules. By the way, I as Attorney General, enforce the labor laws. I support folks on making sure they're paid. And by the way, regardless of what their status is, you may recall in that race my infamous comment on, technically it's not illegal to be in Massachusetts. It's not illegal to be illegal in Massachusetts. That is true. We don't in Massachusetts pay attention to people's status on enforcing labor laws or as victims. That got hijacked by the Republicans and Howie Carr, as you know. But I have always taken that position. And I have said that we will work to make sure we're fair to everybody. I think we've got the team. The last 4 months, we've beaten everybody in fundraising. Whatever metrics you want to look at, we put together a good team. I also think we have a message that will beat Charlie Baker. And I'm determined to do it, because I think Charlie Baker is dangerous. He brought us the big dig. I'm the one who had to clean it up when I came in as Attorney General. He cut funding for DCF. He cut funding for mental health services, for social services. He'll do it again. And so every candidate will tell you you need to elect someone who can beat Charlie Baker. I believe I can. I think people in Massachusetts think I can. I'm determined to do it. It's too important not to. So thanks, Jordan, for that question.